economies of scale. You can show with pencil and paper as a homework problem that a stream of water that flows, one stream of water that flows through two parallel pipes of equal size flows a lot more easily through a single pipe that's more voluminous, a single pipe that has the same volume as the original two pipes. In other words, the change in flow configuration toward flowing more easily is from 2 to 1. That's economies of scale. You can write the equivalent problem by thinking of two small bodies, two barges on a river being pulled against drag. The barges are loaded with coal versus a single barge that's bigger, carrying the total load of the first two. You can show that the power required to drag the big one is considerably smaller than the power required to drag the previous two. So the change toward easier flowing from physics is from 2 to 1. And if this is the tendency in nature to flow more easily, then why is it, or why was it, that not everything that's moving on the landscape is big? The reason is that the flow on the landscape is not from one point to another point, as in, the simplest problems of geometry. It is between one point and an area. The direction of the flow doesn't matter. It is because it's about the fact that the point is one and the area means an infinity of points, or between a point and another infinity of points called volume. And for the flow to cover the infinity of points, well, that flow must have access to smaller and smaller and smaller pockets of territory between the bigger territories that have been served, were wetted, were swept by the big movers anticipated or recommended by economies of scale. So we arrive in this way at hierarchy. Another word for hierarchy, or the natural emergence of hierarchy, is called organization, or coalescence of living things or movers. You see that in this photograph that I took two photographs. Seagulls on the roof of a cottage on the seashore, facing the breeze. They do two things. Actually, the three things. First, they come together. Second, they face the wind the same way. Third, they space themselves such that the ones in the wake have the same spacing as the vortices of the Karman vortex street, meaning that each of the trailing birds is feeling a relative push from behind, from the wind that swept downstream, and that push from behind makes the trailing bird a lazier worker in its legs, meaning it has to do less work to stand up straight in the wind. Here, the upper photograph is about cranes, the way that they are oriented when not working, oriented in a strong breeze. The front of the crane is this one, the one loaded with a weight, meaning the beak of the crane bird is on the left, just as it was in the lower photograph.